Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN 1203. This is a 2016 223, which is Caviar with LA20 black interior, so black on black. Lexus of Albuquerque, 75,000 miles for $50,000 and a $388 dock fee, so $50,388. It's been a Michigan, Arizona, and New Mexico car its whole life. Michigan for the first 3 years, and then it's been in the desert Southwest otherwise. Production statistics: 448 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were Caviar, and 225 of those had LA20 black interior. That's the third most common color: white with red, white with black, and then black with black. 9.58% of all of the US 49 production was this color combo, so like a 2 or 3 out of 10. For 2016, 284 out of the 2,348 cars were Caviar, and 148 of those had LA20 black interior. So at its rarest, this car is one of 148. As far as options on this car go, it had all-weather floor mats originally. It did not have the lighted front door sills or glass brake sensors, but it does have the Mark Levinson stereo, orange calipers, and the trunk mat, the key gloves, the usual type of options that you see on these cars. So it has the Mark Levinson, has orange calipers. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. So my 2026 Carfax shows this as a 4-owner, 3 accident or damage reported, and all were like 8+ years ago, but February of 2017 to the right front, November of 2017 to the front, disabling moderate damage, and it says they hit a light pole or utility pole. And then the third one is May of 2018 to the front, and the 2024 Carfax also shows the same information, so nothing differs there. Epic VIN shows this as a 2-owner, 3 accident car, and it's the same as Carfax as far as the dates go. And AutoCheck shows this as a 3-owner, 2 moderate accident car. In the first one, November of 2017, it says hit a utility pole, left, right, front, bumper, grille, wheels, headlight, hood. So basically the entire front end is what it sounds like was damaged and repaired, and moderate damage at that. The second one shows May of 2018, so like 6 months, 7 months later. Again, moderate damage shows to the left, right, front, grille, fender, bumper, and moderate damage. So AutoCheck coming through with the more detailed information on the accident stuff there. So there's quite a bit of damage, but this car was then later sold L certified, as we'll get into in the sales history. So at least whatever was repaired, it was to Lexus's satisfaction to sell it certified pre-owned, and they have pretty high standards for a lot of that. This is likely a 4-owner, 3 accident or incident car, first 3 years in Michigan, and then it's been in Arizona and New Mexico since then. Previous sales. So this car first went on sale in Michigan, March of 2016 for $87,500, and it sold in October of 2016 as a lease to the first owner, so like 7 months for sale until it was sold. September of 2019, $54,500. Again, 2019, what a time to be alive to try to buy these cars. They were depreciating like a normal car does before COVID happened, and then everything went crazy. But so this was for sale, L certified with 35,000 miles, $54,500 in Mesa, Arizona. And as I said, I think the 3 accidents, they were obviously repaired to Lexus's standard to be able to still sell this car L certified, even with 3 prior incidents or damage or accidents on the Carfax. And even then, it sold in 11 days. And then it looks like there was a private sale around November of 2021, and it had around 52,000 miles at the time. And then another private sale, September of 2023 at 71,000 miles to a buyer in New Mexico who obviously traded it in at a Lexus dealer, but here it is mid-May 2026 with 75,000 miles for $50,000 plus a $388 documentation fee at the dealer. So $50,388 plus tax, title, license, and otherwise. So now into the photos. There are currently no photos. However, if you're inquiring on this car and they send you some photos, please email them to me. My email address is right there. And this is, unfortunately, I have about 100 or so cars that I don't have previous sale or other info on for photos, and this is one of those. So I have nothing to go on as far as, is it modified? Is it beat to hell? Is it extremely clean? Don't know until we see the photos, but we can go on service history and everything else to kind of get a good idea. Look at the obvious things, the touch points, the steering wheel, the seat bolster, the center console, lid, those type of things, the carbon fiber trim, is it delaminating, things like that. As far as the exterior goes, does it have paint protection film? If it does, it probably needs to be replaced because it's coming up on 10 years old. If it doesn't, how peppered is the front end? Would you want to repaint the front end or otherwise? Look at tires, look at brakes, and just the other obvious things that you look at physically looking at the condition of a car. So as far as the price goes, if this car was accident free, which it's not by a long shot, and with this mileage, I would put this car in like the upper 40s. So for one accident, you adjust down about 5 or 6%. For 3 accidents, don't really have an exact amount, but call it closer to probably 10%. And so that probably puts this somewhere around $45,000 or so. And if you adjust for that, assuming it needs nothing, then that's kind of where I would put the price for this car, just because at the end of the day, it does have 3 accidents on it, even though it happened 8 years ago. So now to the service history. This is a very well dealer serviced example, and it's a very well serviced example overall. So it is what you like to see in a car. And so the first entry of note is September of 2019, 35,000 miles, front brakes when they did the certified pre-owned prep. So that means under the first owner, covered under the lease, just basically oil changes, kind of the usual things. October of 2019, the low pressure fuel pump was reprogrammed. So that's the humming or buzzing that you hear in the back seat. And they wanted to adjust the headlights to make them a little higher. And that's pretty common to see on these cars. November of 2020, 45,000 miles. They said they felt like they hit something and they wanted to inspect the underside, the firewall, things like that. And they did, and they found nothing. And there was a squeak on the passenger side of the dash that they couldn't trace and resolve it. But they also did the brake fluid, they did the transmission service, and they did the TVD service. That's at 45,000 miles. May of 2021, 50,000 miles, the rear brakes were done, and they noted that the driver's seat was squeaky, and they did 2 front tires. So the driver's seat being squeaky, I have seen that on a couple other instances, and in our blue GSF, it does it as well, and it drives me absolutely crazy, but that is something that I have seen on a few of these, and I don't know what the resolution is. If you are on the heavier side, it may squeak for you. If you're on the lighter side, it may not. I'm 325 pounds, so I have an effect on things like that. November of 2021, headlight malfunction reported, and the headlights are non-serviceable, so they replaced the left headlight. And that was probably not inexpensive unless it was under warranty, certified pre-owned warranty, which it probably was. February of 2022, 55,000 miles, the 60,000 mile service, and it doesn't say if the spark plugs are done, and I'm gonna assume they weren't unless you can prove otherwise. April of 2023, 67,000 miles, they did front pads, resurfaced the rotors, and a battery. July of 2023, at 70,000 miles, they did the rear pads and rotors, and they did 2 rear tires as well. August of 2024, 73,000 miles, 2 front tires, and they did spark plugs there. So that kind of tells me that it wasn't done at 60,000 miles, but it was done at 73,000, so good enough, and alignment. And then the last service was May of 2026 at 75,000 miles, used car prep, and they noted that the open recall was still open. That's for the low pressure fuel pump replacement, and that the remedy is not available yet. And so that is still true. Supposed to be end of May, early June when the parts are supposed to be available, but nothing is available yet. So this car has fairly new brakes. It has fairly new tires. It has the spark plugs are replaced. It has the transmission service. It has the brake fluid done, and it has the TVD service, the torque vectoring differential. So pretty well serviced, pretty well ready to go. What's not done? The ZLZ. So October 11th of 2016 is the in-service date. So you have until October 11th of 2026. So you have about 5 more months to get the dash replaced. If it is at all slightly sticky, take it to the Lexus dealer and they will replace your dash free of charge because it's still under that coverage. This car being in Arizona, being in New Mexico, it's been in a hot environment that, it's very possible that it could be sticky and it still has coverage. So the other things I haven't seen on this car, the HVAC servo sweep, if it's affected. So if you're gonna go check this car out, make sure it's fully up to temperature, set one side to max hot, one side to max cold, cycle through everything, switch sides, make sure, and do it again, make sure everything responds. If it doesn't, there is a fix for it. And if the fix doesn't resolve the issue, then you're on the hook for replacing some of those servos, and the dash has to come out to do some of those. Front lower control arm bushings, look at the insides of the front tires. It just had new tires put on it, so you're probably not gonna see a wear pattern or anything on the front. That would just be something to keep an eye on. The valley plate, as always, heat cycles and time. And so this car has heat cycles, this car has time, and so would not be surprised if it is leaking. And so it's just kind of right around that time when it's going to be starting to leak. The carbon fiber trim is original unless it's been replaced out of pocket. And the KLG, the GPS location reporting incorrectly, that has not been done on this car. It was free at one time, now it's not. Now you have to pay the dealer an hour of labor. But recent brakes, recent tires, recent TVD, transmission, spark plugs, everything else. Like, I mean, it's pretty well ready to go. So just buy it, go enjoy it. That's what I would see. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? I think if I could get it slightly less, because at the end of the day, those 3 accidents on the Carfax and on the AutoCheck and Epic VIN, it does hurt the value. And even though it is a well-sorted example, well-serviced example, and that was all before, those 3 accidents were before the car got L certified. So I think that whatever repairs were done were probably to a pretty high standard, but that would still be something I would pay attention to. And of course, as I said, that still affects the value. So I would be a buyer at around $45,000 for this car. Being that it's for sale at a Lexus dealer, they're not gonna knock $5,000 off this car. So I already know that that's a no-go for me then at that point. But I would try, but at $50,000, it's just slightly overpriced because of the accident history. Now, if it had none of those, $50,000 would be perfect for this car. The accident stuff, typically if it's something where it was major enough, the car would have like constant issues, electrical gremlins or something for the foreseeable future. And this car doesn't appear to have any of that. So, you know, there would be constant complaints about, you know, the radar sensor not working or the, you know, transmission having issues or, you know, certain things like that, or headlight issues. And it already had one headlight replaced. But there's just, you know, things like that that you kind of have to pay attention to. But it just looks like that this car didn't have any of those gremlins after the accidents. But yeah, it's a well-sorted example, what you'd like to see. But again, I would try to get it just a little bit less. And because if you ever do sell this car, at the end of the day, it's still gonna have 3 accidents on the history. And so that kind of hurts it and that can turn people off. But it was a long time ago and it had plenty of miles and plenty of time to get all the kinks and bugs worked out of it. So yeah, I think it's potential to be a good one. It's not gonna be a collector or anything like that. It's definitely gonna be a driver no matter what. So once we see photos, hopefully this thing is in amazing condition. It's been well serviced at the dealer. But I'd say my guessing on that, I'm usually pretty accurate, but I have been wrong. And so I guess we'll see. We don't even know if it's modified. You know, it could be completely modified, it could be stock, it could have aftermarket wheels, we don't know. So that's what we're waiting to see. But 1203, go check it out. Definitely has some potential. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.